And welcome back to the Flow Sports Fix on this Wednesday. It's time for the Stat Man to have a look at local netball taking place right across the region.
Thanks, Clayton. Let's have a look now at netball for the remainder of our Flow network. And we're starting today in the mid-north of South Australia, in fact, closer to home than that, the Barossa Light and Gawler. And we're going to have a look at the Senior 1 matches from last week. First of all, Anguston took on Tanunda at home and beat them in the Senior 1 69-41, so 110 goals scored in that game. Barossa District, much better than their football counterparts at home. They were far too good for Williston, 55-38. Gawler Central travelled to Kapunda and got the job done in the Senior 1s, 44-33. And a huge scoring game again for South Gawler. They thrashed Freeling 63-17. Let's go to Adelaide Plains next, where the A1 results were as follows. Balaclava, 53. They were too good for Hamley Bridge, 43. A 10-goal win there. Hummocks away from home to Mallee. They doubled that margin. They beat Mallee by 20, 51-31. And Virginia went halfway. They took on Two Wells and beat them by 15, so 40-25 there in the A1 comp. Moving down to River Murray next, and let's have a look at the scores there from the A-grade matches. Last week, Imperials were too good for Madden, beating them 55-38. Maipalonga, 59, accounted for Jervois, 22. And Ramblers, 65, thrash Meningi, 28. Moving on now to Mallee Netball. Some interesting matches here played in the A-grade competition. A thriller at Canalpin, where BDT took on Lamoureux and beat them by just 3 goals in the end. An absolute thriller, 33-30. Some other close matches, or another one here. Karoonda had a win over Murrayville at Murrayville. So a good win away from home for Karoonda Districts, 40-33. And another high-scoring game, this one, Pinaroo 69 defeated Pekin Districts 45. Well over 110 goals scored in that match. Down to KNT. Let's have a look at these matches now. Keith 61 over Bordertown 38. Kirby Bowline had a solid win as well over Padthaway 68-32. Much closer, the next one, Lucendale upset by Border Districts away from home too, if you don't mind, 34-30, just 4 goals in it. And the last match to talk about there is Penola, who had a 7-goal win over Naracoorte, 58-51. Let's head down to the southeast now, mid-southeast competition, the A-grade matches there from the 1st of May. Tantanoola, the Red and Whites, no good against Kalangadoo, who beat them by 16 in the end, 62-46. In other matches, it was Glencoe 60 over Nangwarry, just 30. And Hatherley, 88, if you don't mind. That's a lot of goals in a game of netball, defeating Congrenong just 23. Mount Burr had a solid win over Port Mac as well, 61-22. And, of course, the Roe Roosters, the girls there, they had the bye in mid-southeast netball. They'll be back in action again this Saturday. Let's move across the border into Victoria now and across the Mallee track and the Wimmera. We've got 3 competitions to have a look at. That's North Central, Horsham and Districts, and Wimmera Netball. So we'll start with North Central Netball. Sea Lake Nandalee, they had their first win of the season, an absolute thriller over Donald, 47-45. In other matches, Charlton, 69. They easily accounted for Sinanu, 21. Wedderburn, 60. They basically thrashed Birchip Watcham in the game we thought would be match of the round, 60-33 in the end. And Bort did likewise to Witcherproof Narraport, relegating them to the bottom of the ladder. Bort 69, Witcherproof Narraport 27. And I mentioned the ladder there. A quick look at the ladder now sees that win from Sea Lake Nandalee shooting them up into just 6th position on the ladder, so knocking on the door of the top 4, while Witcherproof Narraport, the only side without a win for the season. Bort and Wedderburn remain undefeated. Let's move into Horsham and Districts Netball now, and the A-grade matches there from last weekend, May the 1st. We see Edenhope Aspley going down to Narrajua Quantong, 52-32. Thrilling game, this one. Harrow Balmoral, 52-20. just got over the line against the Storm from Japarut Rainbow, 52-47, so 5 goals in it. Another hammering from Laharam against Kalkee, this time 66-24. Taylors Lake, again, I'm pretty sure they haven't actually played at any stage this year. Another forfeit there, Rapania 40 over Taylors Lake 1, so that tells me it's a forfeit. And the Swifts, they had a solid win over Pimpanayo, 47-26. The final match of that round there, Canova Orr. They took on Natimuck United and had a very solid win by 31 goals, 57-26. So congratulations to them. And we will finish in the Wimmera now, where last week's A-grade matches have all been run and won. A solid win to the Southern Mallee Giants, who took on the reigning premiers Minyat-Matoa, who albeit are winless at the moment, but they beat them by 30 goals in the end, if you don't mind, 59-29, and did it on the bit. They were far too good. Well done to the Southern Mallee Giants there. In other matches, Horsham 74 defeated Ararat 34, so thrashing them by 40 goals. Dimboola 49, pick up a win over Nil 30. And the Warwick Eagles 51 defeated Stawell 44 in the closest match of the round in the A grade there. And that's a look at the week that was in netball across our Flow region. And coming up on Friday, we'll preview this week's coming matches with all of our correspondents across the Flow network area. That's it for now. Back to you, Clayton.
Thanks, Jace the Stat Man. We'll be having you back in the studio pronto because you and the Flow Man and myself are going to have a conversation about netball and the impact of AFLW and other things. So listen out for that. That's coming up next, folks. And also Courtney with the Sports Express still to come for you on tonight's Sports Fix.